Hip-hop is my life. Hip-hop culture came into Las Vegas in the mid-'80s. A guy named DJ Frankie came to Las Vegas from Brooklyn and brought it here. He brought b-boying, graffiti art, MCing, and DJing to the scene, to Las Vegas, because anything prior to that, Las Vegas was just known for gambling and, you know, just a place to escape. Pretty much the same thing that we have today. I actually was part of a crew called Rock Skittles back in 1992, and that's what kept me off the streets. You know, just because I grew up in a very harsh neighborhood, went to a pretty rough school, and you know, it was just a very slim chance of really making it out of there.
First time I started b-girling, I was 14, and I was watching a whole bunch of break videos.
Me and my friends started getting into breakdancing, and that made us stay at home and practice our butts off to just try to be dope.
I met up with a crew called Rock Skittle Crew. I met Presto One, and we used to practice in a laundromat. They taught me how to do some fundamentals of breaking, even graffiti and MCing, DJ, but I was more passionate with breakdancing.
Hey, yo, can you make me a tape of, you know, just all these songs that we're dancing to so I could practice at home? I'm like, yeah, sure. Then eventually just rolled into me being the DJ. You know, hey, yo, pick up those records, man. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna get those records. And so came 1994 when I was working at Sears and busted my ass for my first turntable, and from that point it just grew. I started making mixtapes and buying more records. I would save my lunch money. I would save my lunch money every day and save it for the end of the week to just buy some more records. I'd take the bus every day, the whole nine.
Before the advent of digital DJing, I used to carry like maybe three to five crates, depending on the gig, depending on how many hours I had to play.
Gosh, I've been through hell and back with all my records. I've spent so much money.
I've had my nights where I've had to carry the crates in the rain. I've had to, you know, I've had the crates fall over a sidewalk crack.
In 2003, there was a format called Serato that was introduced to the DJ community. I started DJing nightclubs. I really didn't feel that great about spending money that I worked for to just buy this new record that I probably would only play for a couple months. It made a lot of sense to get into digital DJing.
With Serato, it makes it more convenient. It does have its limitations sometimes. I mean, the feel of vinyl is unparalleled. Vinyl has always been king. Like, nothing's ever gonna feel like a piece of wax, and then especially when it comes to scratching, it's just like that feeling is not gonna ever be replaced.
Good old-fashioned vinyl.
Yeah, the real
All right.
stuff.
Music is really important to me because even when I clean around the house, I have to have music. When I'm in my car, I have to have music. Pondering, doing nothing, I have to have music. When I'm doing my artwork, I have to have music. When I'm dancing, of course, I have to have music. What hip-hop means to me is a way of life. It's a culture. It's whatever that we are passionate about, and it's always positive energy, and it's always something that we want to, you know, better ourselves with these talents, and we always want to do something with it, you know, instead of going somewhere else and causing trouble.
I was introduced to hip hop when I was 16. Sorry? Yeah. Oh man, definitely. Ladies and gentlemen. It's J.R.R. I learned everything on my own, little by little, practicing and trying to rehearse every little sound I can do.
The good thing about the elements is that they each have their own foundation, and then with these kids, that once they fall in love with something and you see them doing it, instead of discouraging them, I always advocate, trying to give a little bit of history, kind of guide them in the right way. Popping is basically popping your body, hitting hard. So you can pop with your legs, you can pop with your arms, you can pop with your neck, you can pop with your head, knees. So that's popping. You want to be a popper, you got to learn how to pop.
I really hate it when people constantly try to pass it off as there's no positive role models in hip hop culture, when in fact, if you came up in this culture, you are a positive role model.
One of my first elements would probably be graffiti, because when I was growing up, my parents, they were artists, and like they would give me their black books, and I'd see the stuff that they do and I try to copy it.
People should stop having athletes and entertainers raise their children.
I found that I can truly express myself through art, through breaking, through DJing, through MCing, through all the 4 elements of hip hop.
I'm using hip hop as the vehicle, but it's a life lesson.
Art, MC, music, or just dancing is our way to express ourselves, and the way we just want to release our energy or our frustrations is, for most of us, it saved our life.
Hip hop saved me. Otherwise, I would have probably been in a gang and I probably wouldn't be here today.
It's the first ever culture, and I think recorded history, that was started by youth and is now practiced on all 7 continents, to where you don't necessarily have to speak that same language with somebody else in another country. The fact that you are of this culture, you guys can build and have a common ground, you know what I mean, to start a communication, even if there's a communication barrier.
I am hip hop.
Give me a little sound check.
Sound check. 1 2 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 2